Hello, welcome to another Out of the Basement PG rated review. I'm, of course, Patrick Gleason, your host. The movie I'm reviewing is actually a newer one. It's Thor Ragnorak. Saw it just the other day with a bunch of buddies. Overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a comic book movie, so there are obviously here and there some things, which I will talk about in the spoilers part. But overall, I enjoyed it. Felt good. There was some comedy to it. There was some decent action. So, again, I recommend it. Take it in that vein, though. It's like a lighthearted, not too serious. There's some action and comedy in that, and it is a superhero movie. It's definitely better than Dark World. Up there with Captain America, Winter Soldier. So it is I still find the first Thor was fun because it captured the arrogant feel of Thor. This one does show some growth for Thor and even Loki and most of the characters. And actually, the Hulk is in there as well. So I don't want to give too much away right now. This is more just how I felt overall the movie, and I enjoyed it. I came out of it feeling, it was worth it. I enjoyed it. I didn't, go, oh my god, that was terrible, or I didn't like it. No, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Now, for the rating, I'm going to give it's a strange rating because I don't do normal ratings. I would say it's 11 out of a 12 pack. It's decent beer that you invite your buddies to come and share with to watch the movie. And you're going, wow, that's pretty high, 11 out of 12. Like, wait. Remember, you're sharing with your buddies, so there's 4 of you, and there's 11 beer. So in the end, someone's short of beer, and it's sort of that awkward of, well, okay, who's not going to get the beer? And that's when you start to realize it sounded good. 11 out of 12 sounds good until you realize, there's problems with it because we got to share and stuff. So it seems really good, but then you realize there's some problems. So yes, I probably should give it lower rated, but I wanted to make the emphasis of 11 out of 12 because it doesn't split up evenly. That was my point. So I'd probably actually give it a 9, really. But I just wanted to 11 out of 12 because it doesn't share well. That was what I was going for. Now, again, it's continuing the story of Ragnarok, which was shown in Avengers Ultron. It does a good job of setting up a little bit of teasers for Infinity War, but doesn't do too much. See, the problem with a lot of people had with Avengers Ultron was it tried to do too much with Civil War, with Ragnarok and Infinity Wars. It put too much into that movie. This movie did the movie. It was Ragnarok, which was the main theme, a little bit of Hulk World, and a little few teasers for Infinity War. And that was a good idea because they decided focus on 1-2 ideas mostly, with a little bit of other stuff in there. So for that, it worked. Ragnarok, of course, is the end of Asgard, where Surtur, the fire giant, comes through and destroys Asgard. Hela is in here, but now they changed again a little bit of the background story, which I can work with, again, as long as the character seems to stick their part. The actress doing Hela did a great job. I overall enjoyed Hela, because again, Dark World was there because the villain was just boring. There was nothing there for the villain. Hela actually has some decent parts. Now, she is made to be Odin's daughter instead of Loki's daughter, so that's a minor change. She's actually made to be his eldest child, which was quite different, and then she got banished because she was just enjoying taking over worlds instead of just being the goddess of death. So that's where it got a little not too good. Because Hela is supposed to have her own realm. She takes care of the dead who don't go to Valhalla. So the cowards, the weaklings, stuff like that, they're not worthy enough to go to Valhalla, so Hela gets them. Now, in the comics, a lot of stuff that goes on is Hela keeps trying to steal souls of the proper Vikings who would go to Valhalla. She's trying to steal them first to bring them into her realm to make her realm more stronger. And that's where a lot of conflict happens. In this one, no, there's nothing. She is Odin's first child, the strongest one there. She comes back because Odin's blocked her away because she wanted to take over the entire cosmos. And I understand that part. So that was a little weak. Odin dies. Thor and Loki have a little bit of reconciliation, and then out comes Hela, who destroys Mjolnir, pretty much like that, which did feel a little stretched, but I was willing to go with it because if she's a goddess, and goddesses should be more powerful than any artifact, mostly. But then she starts shooting out swords and daggers and that sort of stuff from her hands as she's launching them. Like, where did this come from? That is not in any of the comics at all. Like, she's a goddess of death, not swords or weapons or war. Like, Tyr is the god of war, which you never see in this one. But anyways, Tyr is the god of war, not Hela. So that made no sense. Doctor Strange in this movie was completely redundant. There was no need for him there. People are like, oh, well, he helped him find Odin. There was a whole bunch of other ways they could have done it. It was just there to stow a little bit of Infinity War stuff, and it could have been done away with completely. The movie would not have lost anything without Doctor Strange being there. It was just a little bit of too much comedy in that part. And this is where the movie starts to fall, because they do try doing way too much comedy. I don't mind the lighthearted stuff here and there. That works, but they went out of their way to do some comedic scenes which didn't work. And some of the CGI is not the best either in some of the movie with the Hulk and stuff on Hulk World. So anyway, so Hela comes back. Odin dies. Hela's released. They're trying to go to the Bifrost to get to Asgard to save. Both Loki and Thor get knocked out, and who knows where. Hela comes into the world and then kills the Warriors 3 pretty much like that. Well, 2 of them, Fafnir and the other guy. Anyways, Fafnir dies just like that. Nothing. Like, no, he doesn't get a chance to do anything. Heimdall's missing, anyways. But the Warriors 3 death was just really pointless. There's nothing to it. They could have just been Gumbies. It actually would have been better had it just been normal goobs there that she killed instead of the Warriors 3, because that really took away from the first 2 movies with them. Like I said, it was bad idea to kill them off that way. It just didn't like it. Not at all. So you're starting to see why there's problems with this movie. And then Hela fights all her people. She shows the fact that, she was Odin's executioner. She wanted to kill people, take over realms, all that sort of ambition, as opposed to just, I'm the goddess of death who takes all the dead people. As the story goes along, you then Thor and Loki are in Hulk, not Planet Hulk, it's where the Game Master is, and Hulk is a hero. They're loved by the people at the Top Challenger. This part isn't too bad. It works well. It's again shows Loki and Thor. Thor is actually starting to develop more, learn more. Loki is still his same sort of backstabbing, sort of manipulation, but it works. Game Master does a good job. This part as well, and this is where you meet an Asgard Valkyrie, which is like, oh right, we finally got a Valkyrie. Which readers of the comics, the Defenders net know Hulk and Valkyrie were part of the Defenders as well as Doctor Strange and Namor and that, and it's good, yay, and a Valkyrie. But then they basically throw away all the other Valkyries, and there's a couple of scenes of like, yeah, we attacked Hela and all died. And she left. Well, again, it felt, no, why? What? If you want to have a Valkyrie there's easy ways to do it. You could have her have been banished by Odin, because hell, he does that a lot. He did it with Thor and other. So she could have been trying to get someone's soul. Hela took it instead, and that's why Odin banished her away. So she left, and now she's on this planet drunk and trying to forget everything. That would have been better than just, oh, here's all the Valkyries, and they're all dead. Oh, okay, so we keep hearing about how the Valkyries are the elite force and everything, and then, no, hell, just killed them all. Way back when. Okay. Again, that was a letdown. That's where it was like, yeah, Valkyries, and then, no, this doesn't work. So, anyways, Hulk turns out to be, he's been there for 2 years, and Banner, there's a nice little part where Banner realizes he was the Hulk for 2 years and had no idea what was going on. So that was an interesting part. Like, he realizes he doesn't want to become the Hulk again, because if he does, he might never come back. Hulk is now a completely separate entity than Banner, and that's where Bruce Banner's afraid. He doesn't want to lose control again like that. So eventually, again, you see history of Odin with Hela when they're destroying all these other realms and taking them over and that, and then Thor comes back, and there's a discussion between her and Hela and him of this is what we wanted, blah blah blah. But then he decided to become all good and care for people. And I was reminded actually of the Old and New Testament, where in the Old Testament God is a fucking dick. He's out there to punish and vengeful and all that sort of stuff. And then in the New Testament he's happy, lovey-dovey. So I'm wondering if they sort of borrowed a little bit of that for this movie, where Odin was a dick to start with, power hungry, all that sort of stuff. Then, ooh, I want to be nicer to people. I don't know. That part didn't. Again, they could have done it better. They could have had some sort of revelation of where he saw the future and he decided, no, we can't do this, and explain it. But again, the whole making Hela that sort of goddess with massive weapons coming out of her arms, just throwing knives and swords everywhere to kill people left, right, and center, it didn't feel right. Thor was doing well again, and then of course, Dr. Banner decides, I'm going to become Hulk again to save people against Fenris, the wolf, who is now Hela's sort of pet, sort of, but he's dead, but she brought him back to life with eternal flame. I would have preferred Fenris to be alive, and she released him from his imprisonment. Again, that's so easy to do, and better story than Fenris being killed off and then brought back to life by the eternal flame to be sort of a ghoul dog or zombie dog, which the Hulk fights. And now another little time. This is a small one. It's always been an issue with the comic books of. So in the Planet Hulk, there's Tony Stark's clothes there that Bruce Banner wears because he's naked after becoming the Hulk, and he's going on about how the pants don't fit because they're too tight and stuff like that. Then he converts into the Hulk, and he's still wearing the pants. What? Like I know they didn't want to have him walk around like a being green dick, like they didn't watch him with a big blue dick, but still, you're making the joke about how Tony Stark's pants are too tight for Bruce Banner, but then he can change into the Hulk and they still aren't ripped to shreds and they fit him. So I know that's an issue with the comics for the longest time, of like, how do Hulk's pants not explode when he grows? Anyway, so that, and then the whole thing with Surtur is Thor defeats him early on in the movie, rather easily actually, to stop Ragnarok, and then he releases Surtur in Asgard to fulfill the prophecy because they can't beat Hela because she's too strong, so they're taking people away from Asgard because Asgard is where your heart is, not the land. So it's that old saying, as long as you're with family and friends, you are home. Which is a nice touch, and actually follows the comics where Asgard gets destroyed and they move to Oregon, I think it is, Oklahoma, or I think Oklahoma, Oregon. They moved to Midwest, the States, instead of Norway, which made more sense. But anyways, so Thor releases Surtur, who is super strong, super powerful, and destroys Asgard, including Hela. Yay! In a movie, they're going to Earth, and then you see the teaser for the big, massive planet from ship from Thanos, and yay! So that's going to come up. So overall, like I said, it's a fun, enjoyable movie if you go in expecting that. It's when you start looking at it and you're going, it doesn't work. Like another one that I forgot to mention. At one point in time, Thor's going, oh my god. Why would he say that? Why would Thor in any way say, oh my god? That is a North American expression. Definitely does not fit with the god of thunder saying it, because they don't have gods. They are basically demigods. But why would Thor ever use that expression? Odin's beard, Odin's eyes, other sort of things like that would work. Find a Norwegian or a Viking curse and have him say that. That would work. Not that one. Like I said, that took me out of the movie because I went, that doesn't work with Thor. Not at all. So as soon as he said that, it was that shocker where you go, that was written by Hollywood. It's the movie. It doesn't work. So like I said, enjoyable movie. I would recommend it on the fact that it's a fun, lighthearted movie. Don't look too much into it. It's not worth too many viewings, I don't think. Again, the CGI was not the best for this, seen in 3D, and that felt disappointed. So that's my review. Throw your comments and opinions below. That's fine. Again, I give it a decent rating just because for the type of movie it is, it does do its job. It's fun, lighthearted. Don't think too much about it, and then just enjoy. Thank you very much. Hi, I hope you liked that video I just did, or you saw. If you do, please press the like or subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much to help us out and get better known. Anyways, have a good day.